Good morning, Albuquerque. Today's forecast is going to be hot as hell and a 70% chance of flooded streets. Just kidding. Starting out the day with the deliver that, and then about 4.5 hours of per order on DoorDash, and then about 4 hours of hourly. We'll see how we do. Just zeroed out the trip odometer, so we'll know how many miles I do. Alrighty, done with the deliver that. Time to start DoorDash. A few minutes out of the zone, so head in there. Just real quick, why do I wait? Anecdotally at least, found 90% plus of the orders I get when I'm heading back to the zone are not gifts. They're actually horrible orders that end up taking me way longer than it would have taken me to just drive back in. Secondly, I can't remember what the other reason was, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, first half of the day is going to be an hour, or not hourly, per order, just because there's not enough volume for restaurant orders to do hourly unless I feel like making $10 an hour, which kind of doesn't help. So, yeah, I'll be popping on and off, because if I'm getting 45-minute shopping orders, there's no point in leaving the camera on. Okay, be back. Alright, took 3 offers, but finally got one worth taking. First one they sent me was about 75 cents a mile. Second one was about 50 cents a mile. And then finally 2 pickups, same delivery, about 3 or so dollars per mile. So yeah, taking that one. Alright, about 2 minutes away from drop off. So that puts this right at about 53. So that means 16 minutes for $7, 2.5 miles. Calling that a win. And almost immediately next door to Walgreens, 3 items, something miles. 650. That's a definite yes. Sorry about losing part of my head. Apparently I did a shit job of putting the mount on that I bought yesterday just so I could do videos. Oh well, life goes on. Alright, according to the GPS, should take me about 17 minutes total from the time I received the order to drop off. 650, so it's just barely under 25 an hour, but I'll take that with the 3-to-1 miles per dollar ratio. Well, fueled up for the day, got my Monster and chips, still nothing, which tells me it's time to head to grocery stores for pickups. Drive to my favorite Sprouts and sit there for a minute or two if I even get there before I get a Sprouts order. Well, not Sprouts, but about halfway to Sprouts, got the order for Dollar General, $8.75, 3.9 miles, 3 distinct items. Means about a minute to shop, about 2 minutes to get through the checkout line, and then head to drop it off. Sigh. It took me a little longer than expected. I was inside the store for a whole 5 minutes instead of 3. Life goes on. Finished that order, almost immediately got a double batch from Sprouts, 2118, about 5 miles. I think it was 18 items total, but I mistimed my screenshot, so yeah, shit happens. One thing I wanted to point out, I've been seeing more lately, when the order comes up, it says distinct items on some of these, so you can actually tell. Am I actually picking 20 items, or am I picking 10 items and everything has 2? Who knows? Alright, done shopping, back in the car. 27 minutes from parking to getting ready to drive. That one ended up a little bit of a loss. Took too long. Ended up at 21 something cents per hour on that. 50 minutes. That goes on. While I'm waiting at a light anyway, The last one was a perfect example of why routing inside the store is so important. I had to backtrack a couple times, cover areas, which wasted a few minutes. And suddenly your hourly rate goes down. So it's the beauty of shopping orders. It's all up to you and how well you do. If you do well, you make good money. If you make mistakes, well, they cost you. But you're not just at the mercy of, oh, I'm sorry, we just got a school bus and now you're waiting for us to make 73 double Whoppers before we can make your food. Well, nothing yet. I'm parked in the Sprouts parking lot. I'll wait here 2-3 minutes. If nothing pops, then I'll head over to the mall. I just know most of the time until about 4 or 5 o'clock. It's mostly grocery orders for me. So I can either fight it or just go where I'm most likely to get the next order from. Well, nothing, so off to the mall. On the bright side, if I get to my usual parking spot there, I'm still in range of this and the Dollar General, but also in range of all those restaurants with shorter radiuses. Radii, whatever. Here's your open. And of course, 30 seconds after I decide to leave the parking lot, I get an order for Dollar General. Had to make a U-turn. Well, check in 3.5 hours in. Checking in about 3.5 hours in. We're looking at about $77. Easy Carrier makes it so I can't tell you exactly until 3 days later. But for those $77, we were at 35.9 miles. So there we go. Another baby order, Walgreens, 2 miles, $5, 2 items. $5 means I have 12 minutes. Any more than that, it's a bad order. Less than that, it's awesome. All right, that one was a winner. 11 minutes for $5. And almost immediately, Ulta Beauty shopping order. $11, 6.9 miles. Not that great. 5 items. Getting better at Ulta Beauty, so it should be okay. Not horrible for a shop that I'm still getting better at. Basically, if you figure in 3 or 4 minutes of pause time until I get back into the zone, we're looking at almost exactly half an hour, $11. I can live with it knowing that I'm still working on that store. If you don't take stores that you're not familiar with, you're not going to get better at them, and you limit yourself. I think I mentioned it earlier, but basically anytime I leave the zone, if I'm less than 5 minutes away, it's automatically pausing. The reasoning, I'd say anecdotally at least 90% of the orders I get when I'm just outside the zone are worth crap. And if I have to keep my acceptance above 70%, I don't want to handicap myself by knowing that I can avoid having automatic rejections. So, yeah. Just parked at Satellite Coffee. Had one bad offer, and then this one's $7, 4.1 miles, and takes me right by the mall. So, yay. All right, pickup without a hitch, yay. Bathroom without a code that you have to enter, yay. And before I forget, after this delivery, I'm going to be starting to look for my 2 markers for when I change to hourly. First marker, the estimated time has to have a 1 for the first digit. Second marker has to have a lot of red on the map. If you don't have both, odds are good that either it's a low wait time because there's a whole lot of shopping orders, which doesn't help for hourly, and if it's not a whole lot of red, then odds are good that low number is also because there's a whole lot of shopping orders, which again doesn't help with hourly. The ideal is get on there with both markers intact, and you have enough restaurant orders that you have a good chance of getting actual tips on your orders. Doesn't help me to do hourly and then wait around for 20 minutes to get a no-tip order. All right, 17 minutes for $7. Pretty much right on target. Got the first of my markers up. It says estimated 1 to 3 minutes. However, there's almost no red on the map, so sticking to hourly. All right, at a light just before my next pickup. Jason's Deli, $8, 3.8 miles. No card, but hey, whatever. I don't care as long as it's $8 for 3.8. I think I misspoke on the last one. Sticking to per order until I get those 2 flags. Unless I'm down to 73% now. If I drop down to 70, I'm switching to per hourly no matter what, because yeah, I don't feel like losing platinum. No problems at pickup. This store reminded me, if you're at a store where you have to pour your own drinks, just do it. You do realize most of us make way more than the people who are in the restaurants working their backsides off just so we can make more money than them. Just fill the drinks. Oh, what do you know? Shopping order. Actually, I haven't seen too many of those today. $8-something, 3 miles, 5 items. Should be cakewalk. Next up, Albertsons. $11-something, 5-something miles. Not a whole lot of items. I can't remember. And away we go. Finished that whole 5-minute shop, and all I have to say is God bless people who have to double park with Fiestas. I decided it was close enough to the time when I would normally be switching, so see if we can get over to hourly or not. Ballpark so far for the day, about 1:30, 63.1 miles, and about 5.5 hours. Alright, we're on who knows mode. Most of the time, as long as I stay busy from 4 to 8, I'm making some pretty dang good money. We'll see what the order cards look like at the end of the runs. Oh, and before I forget, any of you that think that you live in the city with the worst drivers, it came out today that Albuquerque is number 1 in worst drivers. Guess what they rated on? Hard brakes, hard curbs, and phone usage. Sound familiar to anybody that does DoorDash or Uber? Real quick, while I'm not moving, I have a theory that's untested and untestable for why hourlies seem to get a lot of longer runs. Placed an order myself a few weeks ago from Arby's, and DoorDash decided to send them to the farthest Arby's from me and charge a fee for extended distance. I'm thinking, since they're paying more for hourly drivers per run, they send them to the longer runs so that they can get more money out of the customer and help cover that difference in pay. Well, that one sucked. 8.25 for 28 minutes. All right, hourly order number 2. It's a double. Usually means good, but not always. I got McAllister's and Chipotle. Both of them a little more expensive, so we'll find out. I know one of the drop-offs is an apartment complex that's medium income, so not too much hopes on that one. All right, much better that one. 17:28, 33 minutes. 1 tipper, 1 non-tipper. It happens. And next pickup complete. Slim chickens. It's a good time to remind you, honestly, unless you have no idea about your city, you should probably be able to do 90% plus of your navigation before you even start the car. Yeah. Red light wisdom. Why is it so important to do most of your navigating before you drive? Because you don't want to have your eyes on the phone the whole time you're driving. That, and if something happens along the way, there's a wreck or a detour, if you already know where you're going, it's real easy to adjust instead of driving until your GPS finally manages to recalculate a route. Not bad. 12:49, 21 minutes. Off to Sonic. Waiting in drive-through wisdom. Why is it that hourly can work out at the right times? Well, say you're shooting for 25 an hour and you're getting 15 an hour base pay on hourly. All you need for an hour is $10 in tips. 3 or 4 deliveries. Your tip average doesn't have to be very high. Per order, say you do 3 orders in an hour. I have to move. That's $6 base pay. You need $19 in tips. Okay, see if I can finish that thought. So yeah, say you get 3 orders an hour during supper and you're getting 6 from DoorDash, you're going to have to average a little over $6 a tip on those 3 orders to make 25 an hour. Hourly, getting paid 15 an hour, at least that's what it is for me. You only have to average 3 1/3 per order on tips. Get 2 orders with nothing and 1 order with a $10 tip. Bam, you're covered. All right, 7:96, 21 minutes for Sonic. So just under 24 an hour. Yeah. And that's why it's called win some, lose some mode. That one, $4.19 from DoorDash, $1 cash tip, 15 minutes. Definitely not what we're looking for. But immediately got an order for Slim Pickens again. Last one was good. Let's hope this one is too. Another quick stoplight thought. I think one possible reason why hourly has gotten better is that DoorDash has gotten better at pairing up orders from nearby restaurants. So you have fewer naked bad orders, which means that they can use mop-up mode for stuff that actually has tips. Another 5:18, 15 minutes, so 21-ish, just under. Yeah, well, probably last pickup, McAllister's, going a good 15-minute drive, so it'll probably bring me close to my 8.5 to 9 hours. All right, we're going to call that quits for the day. 8.5 hours. I'll have the exact numbers later. I think it's 195-ish for the day, depending on what the easy cater ends up being. 22 something an hour. Not what I was hoping for. Not horrible on a Wednesday. I know there was lots of dead time in the afternoon, but a lot less because I do shopping. So, okay, time to go home. See my wife, yay, and then try to figure out how to do all this editing stuff.